we spoke last year before the Oscars as you were ready to shoot this movie. And so now that we're here talking about the concept of doing another war film for yourself and going to Vietnam.
Thank you for the question. My previous war film was Miracle St. Anna, which dealt with the story of the Black soldiers, the Buffalo Soldiers, the 92nd Division that fought in Italy against Mussolini's fascists and Hitler's Nazis. I was not around for that war. War ended in 45. I was born in 57. The Vietnam War was the first war that was broadcast into American homes. I saw the Vietnam War at 6, 7, and 11. News. I recall seeing this on my TV screen in the living room. I recall seeing the demonstrations. I remember the day Dr. King got assassinated. I remember the day RFK got assassinated. I remember seeing Mayor Daley in Chicago unleashing those cops, and they were busting heads during the Democratic National Convention. I remember the day Richard Milhouse Nixon, Tricky Dick, resigned. So this is a war I was much more familiar with than World War II.
This time you have Black soldiers going back. How much research did you do in terms of just bringing Black soldiers in Vietnam and just Black soldiers in Vietnam, period? You saw it when you were young, but then there's doing research about the Black soldiers that were there.
Well, I've done any film I do research. I feel that's my part of the job as being director. The best research I had, though, was after when we finished the film, but we came back. And before it was locked, I had 4 screenings for Black and Puerto Rican Vietnam vets here in New York City. And they loved the film. And I made the film for them. And that's my validation that this film was made from these guys were 17, 18 years old, drafted, some enlisted, trained to kill, shipped halfway around the world to fight in a moral war.
Your cast, some of these actors you've worked with for nearly 20 years. Some of them are new. Chadwick,
Delroy's even longer, I think.
Going back, I think, to 92, talking about bringing, and I think this may be your first film with this cast in terms of their age, as far as your leads, so talking about, when you're putting this together, instead of getting some young actors playing, and them aging them later, you got these older actors who, some you've worked with in the years before and some new guys.
Well, very simple answer. This film was about old cats that going back to the Vietnam War. So they would be the age they are now.
So like, obviously with Delroy and Isiah and Clarke, you've worked with them in the past.
First time with Norm Lewis.
And first time with Norm Lewis.
I saw Norm on Broadway, Porgy and Bess. He killed that, He's the man.
So then there's a lot we're gonna go over, but obviously we got a short time. The music, Marvin Gaye. He's featured heavily. He's almost like one of the cast members. Why Marvin Gaye? I know the answer, but I want you to say it. Why Marvin Gaye music throughout the movie?
Well, it's Marvin Gaye music specifically from the greatest album ever, in my opinion. What's Going On? The album came out in 1971. This would be the album people are listening to. This would be the album the Bloods would be listening to in Vietnam. Marvin had an older brother named Franklin who did 3 tours in Vietnam as an operator. And he would write Marvin. And Marvin was reading his brother's letters, first-hand account what's happened in the Vietnam War. And then Marvin, being in Detroit, he was seeing what's happening with the brothers coming back from the war. So I think it's those 2 things really gave him the impetus for the creation for one of the greatest albums ever. So I'm very, very honored and lucky and blessed that we incorporate a lot of songs from that album. And like you stated earlier, he's like a character. His music, his words, his truths are like a character in the film.
What do you want the audience to take away from seeing this movie? Is it about these individuals going back, looking for something in terms of making peace, that their fallen soldier and comrade was back out there, or is it something else?
Shit ain't changed. Very simple. I mean, you look what's happening today. Not that much has changed. Same old, same old.
You know, I've seen all of your films. When you're doing this, do you know when that script is ready, when you're gonna do your dolly shot?
I didn't know for this one. I didn't know when I wrote the script. I knew where it's going to be in Black Klansman. But it took me a minute for it to show itself to me, as you like to say.
You know, before we wrap up,
to reveal itself to me.
Yes, you know, we don't know where we're going to be in July or August. Are you still planning to do a Michael Jackson there? Will it be virtual?
There will not be a Michael Jackson block party this summer. There will not be a Prince block party this summer. There will not be a Do the Right Thing block party this summer. Some other people might be having block parties, but Spike Lee, 40 Acres and a Mule is not having no block parties. Virtually, you know, maybe with DJ Spinner, we might do that, but isn't this Sunday? I think this Sunday is Prince's birthday. So we might do something there. Yeah.
You know, and you know, how are you holding up throughout this whole time?
Day by day. Day by day, my brother. Day by day.
Okay. Spike, it's always good talking to you. I'm sure I'll see you again.
On the AC after Corona.
Yes, we will. Take care.
Be safe.
Thanks.